I love this project. Brings out the scientist in me. So my hypothesis was, do micro distractions affect me? And also, why do I have issues with certain escape velocities when I have created a life that allows for a lot of free time? And so we've talked about the social media aspect, and we've talked about like the execution of that, etc. And now storytelling is the story brand. We don't have to go down there, but I find it very interesting that my first thought today was about energy, right? And so like I have a surplus of it, but where do I put it? And then I realized that part of my hypothesis is to try to determine how to make people be better people, better human beings with the methods that I apply to myself. And also, so I gotta practice what I preach, right? I gotta lead by example. So that's why I'm living my own 30-day trial. So this is day 10. And I wrote down my first thought was energy theme. And I know what I'm talking about, but I'm gonna try to explain it even for you to understand what I'm talking about. So what I do, one of the things I know that I've read is by theming your days, or theming, your days of the week to things so that they're all in the same bucket. And then you can concentrate your energy better, and you can divide that into hours in the day, etc. And then at least you can engage certain tasks and certain parts of your life with a certain energy. And it's amazing because I have so much energy by not being distracted. So by taking away the phone use completely, almost completely, and on telling myself that it's only used for a recording device. So it's either a camera or it's a audio recording device for podcasting. Game changer, because now, of course, there's incoming calls that come through. I'm more a call person and a Zoom person than any sort of communication. Let's not even talk about email. So this is day 10. I'm going off on a tangent, but this is day 10, and I'm feeling great. And I figured out a way to spin all this together, and I'm going to talk about constantly in my narrative now is this 30-day system is called the program or the formula. And what I'm going to put inside it are my algorithms that I've tested that increase the ability for you to be a better person while you're either working or you're just being a public social person. And that's probably the phone use for sure. But as well as, getting yourself set up for anything that you want. Because there's the deficiency, I think, now that I'm noticing is operational joy. So whether or not you have free time or you don't, that's a hard sell. I always say that because I've been selling that forever and people still don't buy it. So even though, there are those people that do buy it and then there's those people that don't, and they haven't made any changes, and I want to help. And so by using these methods and using these things that I'm going to lean towards the formula, I think. Yeah, the formula. I like that. I have a thing for the and the, obviously. Operational joy. I might have another synonym for that later. I might rename that later, but for now, that's what I feel these systems help, especially with work, so that you can have a good time, right? And it shows, and then it reflects on the rest of your life, and then have more energy, etc. Like they all go together. There's so many cliche things that I could talk about right now, but I feel like a lot of people are dragging themselves through systems that don't have to be so inefficient, and it reflects how they feel. And that's what I want to help fix.